everybody, welcome to my homestead and welcome to my channel. I'm a maniac with content. And I'm making content I never made before. I'm a maniac, come join me on the members only portion of my store. Okay, so it's not really a store, it's a channel, but I had to say that because it rhymes. So I've had a few comments from some of you that you can't join, and I've read a few other comments. It seems like those of you that have iPhone or maybe Apple products may be having an issue. So all I can recommend at this point is maybe try a different device, maybe try on your desktop, or I don't know. You might have to contact YouTube tech support or something like that. I'll see. I'm going to keep digging into it and see if I can figure it out. I accidentally put the wrong link to join. There's like these two different links, and one of them is specifically for to join members only. So I'll put that's going to be in the description of every video, so go down to the description and there will be the link, and just try that. Hopefully it'll work. So in this video, excuse me, I got an email from Jonathan Hayes, a time-sensitive email. It looks like there was, just like what it says here, catastrophic flood in Pakistan, killing over 1,000 people. So I found this article. This is New York Times, and there's some really interesting stuff about this. Now, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know that I have all these different playlists, and I have a whole series of playlists just for different signs of the times. So I have this one right here, signs, flooding. You can come down here. We got signs, earthquakes, society, hurricanes, wildfires, tornadoes, signs in the heavens, so like meteors and stuff like that. Just a whole bunch of them. I wish that these were arranged alphabetically. I don't know if I can fix that. Anyway, so if you ever want to look at what's been going on, if you've been wondering about earthquakes or whatever, if I've done a video about it, just come here. And I'm trying to keep track of as much as possible. And this is just the latest sad entry. So New York Times, why Pakistan was hit so hard. Floods have killed at least 1,100. So it looks like it's been updated a little bit since the email that Jonathan sent to me. Floods have killed at least 1,100 and submerged about a third of the country. Okay, so that's already a pretty interesting number right there, a third, because I'm not saying that any portion of the book of Revelation has been fulfilled because of this, because we're just talking about Pakistan. But it's one of those numbers, it's one of those fractions that you see show up, specifically in the book of Revelation a lot, and when it's talking about the judgments that are coming upon the world. A third, right? A third part of the trees were burned up, a third part of the waters were poisoned, stuff like that. So that just kind of stood out to me. And then it says we explain the factors that make it, the factors making it so bad. And I've done a video kind of about this before. I did this video here. This was back, let's see, the 16th of May of this year. This one's titled Largest Wildfire in New Mexico State History. But I was also looking at just how the earth is so hot. There's so many things going on right now. And we were looking at this satellite image of these hotspots, because India and Pakistan were really, really hot this year. And so this has to do with the monsoon season that they have. And if you're not familiar, here, let me go over to this one. So I used to live in Phoenix, right? And in Arizona, they have a monsoon season. In fact, it's actually right about now, in August, September, maybe the late part of July, where essentially what happens is that and I know this because I took aviation weather because that's what I got my certificate in. I'm an aircraft dispatcher, and so you have to learn about weather. And what you have is land heats faster than water, and it cools faster than water. Does it make sense? And so what happens is cold air is more dense, and it tends to go where the air is less dense, like where it's warm. Okay, so dense air, it wants to kind of like just spread out naturally, because that's what things tend to do, right? When you have something that's kind of packed in, it tends to want to like spread out. So you have dense cold air. So say that, um, okay, so say that in the winter, okay, the land is cold. It gets a lot colder than the water does because water, the temperature of water rises and lowers slower than land. And so in the wintertime, the land becomes really cold because it's winter. And then up here in the northern hemisphere, and so that cold air that's over the continent, it tends to move out toward the ocean because it's warmer than it is inland. And then in the summer, it's reversed. The land gets hot, and over here the air is cooler out in the ocean, and so you have this air that comes inland because there's less pressure over here. There's more pressure over the water because it's cooler, and so it tends to move inland, and it causes a monsoon, what's called the monsoon season. And so when you have um, these uh, air masses that move, they tend to pick up moisture, like scoop it up from lower elevations to higher elevations, which causes thunderstorms. Because when you have moist air that's toward the ground, when you raise it up into the air, the air gets colder and colder the higher up you go. And so that it causes that moist air to condense, and then therefore you have cloud formation, and then when it reaches a certain point, it begins to rain, and you have a thunderstorm, or you have like other types of rain too. It's not always a thunderstorm, but that's essentially what monsoon is. So when we're looking over here at what was going on in India and Pakistan, well, yeah, this summer it was really, really hot. And so the surrounding water, let's go over there right now. So the surrounding water, I guess in this case, it would mostly be from the Arabian Sea. It's cooler, Pakistan's hot, and so the air comes this way, and then you get a lot of rain. You have monsoon, right? All right, so let's continue. After a spring of deadly heat waves, yeah, people dying from the heat waves, summer floods, excuse me, have killed more than 1,100 people in Pakistan. Since June, rains have washed away buildings, submerged homes, and destroyed roads. 1/3 of the country is underwater, which is just astounding. Pakistan is not, it's not, well, let's see, it's not like a small country. I think maybe you could say it's kind of medium sized. Like if you look at Europe, for example, it's about the size of just a typical European country. Looks like it could be about the size, if you're looking at it right here, looks like it could be about the size of France or Germany, maybe Spain. So for 1/3 of it to be underwater, that is just insane. And the thing that I want to point out, okay, these are the signs of the times, and the signs of the times aren't just for us here in the United States or us in North America or us that belong to the English speaking world, the West, and so on. It's for the whole world, and Pakistan is part of the world, right? Everyone is going to be everywhere. it's going to be everywhere. And so right now it looks like Pakistan is having a turn. And if you were to ask these people, you know, if you could like describe the end of the world or describe, um, you know, natural disasters that accompany the end of the world, like for them, they're going through that kind of experience. Like, look at this. He's like wading through all this muddy, sandy water with his child right there, and his. I'm guessing those are his pajamas. I don't know. I mean, look at this. Does this not look um, like end times to you? Like it looks like this whole city is like submerged. Let's see. This is okay. Flooded homes in Baluchistan province in the southwest. Okay. What other pictures are there? No, then it goes to another article. Okay, let's read a few more things. So they know that it has to do with global warming. Okay, the monsoon season rainfall in Pakistan has been nearly 3 times the national average of the past 30 years, the country's disaster agency said. In Sindh province, which borders the Arabian Sea to the south, rainfall is nearly 5 times the average. Why preparation and recovery are so hard. The challenge of preparing for more intense rains is complicated by persistent political instability in Pakistan. That's another sign of the time. So if you're just looking at Pakistan, they're experiencing historic flooding. They have political instability. Now, I was surprised when I saw this. No prime minister has ever completed a full term in office. Really? Okay, I'm going to look up, okay. No Pakistani prime minister full term. Is that seriously true? Sorry, I should have done this before. So we're on Al Jazeera, cookie preferences, strictly necessary cookies. Nope, nope, nope. Confirm my choices. Okay. No Pakistani prime minister has completed a full term in office. Pakistan has had 29 prime ministers since 1947. None completed a full 5-year term. That is a fact about Pakistan that I did not know until today. That's out of Pakistan's 75-year history. Jeez Louise. Okay, so in April, former Prime Minister Imran Khan was forced out. This month, he was charged under that word laws amid a power struggle with the current leadership. The country's difficult economic situation. So there you go. So they're having historic flooding right now. They're having political instability. They're having a difficult economic situation. It sounds like this country is feeling the effects of the end of the world, right? And the judgments of the Lord. Let's see. So that's all I'm going to read from this one. So we have this going on in in Pakistan. It's not a tsunami. Like these are like scenes that I would typically associate with like a tsunami. I guess maybe with flooding, but it's like, I mean, one third of the country. Goodness gracious. So let's take a look really quick. I wanted to look at a few other things. This is the Wildfire Activity Web Map, and this year has not turned out the way that I thought it would. I thought that fires would be even more intense, especially in California. There's this really helpful sheet right here that keeps track of the top 20 largest California wildfires. And so far, I mean, we're in the last couple days of August right now, and no fire from 2022 has made the list. Now, let me point out all the last couple years. So we have one right here, one, So from like 2021 and 2022. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So out of the top 20, 8 of those have come from the year 2020 or 2021. So my assumption at the beginning of this year is that it was probably going to be worse because the trend is that things are getting worse. But no, 2022 has not cracked the top 20 this year for California, which is a good thing, right? And that's not really an indicator of what's going to happen in the future. But this year, it looks like California was somewhat spared from these horrific fires. The largest wildfire in California state history was in 2020, which is an interesting year for that to happen. And then the second largest was last year. And I was covering this as my channel was just getting started. But you'll notice that virtually all of these come from this century. The only ones that are not from this century, there you got 1, 2. I thought I saw another one. 1, 2, just 2. All the rest of them come from this century. It's crazy. Let's take a look at the U.S. Drought Monitor. This is what it looks like as of the 25th of October or August. This only updates every so often, like every several days. And so Utah still not looking good at all. There's just this big red blotch over Utah. California not looking too good. Texas, no. Western Kansas, unfortunately, no. But where I'm at is, it's kind of okay. So yeah, this is what it's looking like as far as drought conditions go. And then when we look at this updated map for Pakistan and India, it looks like things have cooled down, because if you look here, I mean, it was just orange just all over the place. But now it looks like things are cooling down, but we still had that monsoon that just devastated the country. Yeah. There are a bunch of fires up here in Canada, but I haven't really seen very much news about wildfires except this year, except for New Mexico. This year, New Mexico had its largest wildfire in state history. Let me read a few things here. So this is a Wikipedia article. 2022 New Mexico wildfires. The 2022 New Mexico wildfire season is an ongoing series of wildfires burning throughout the U.S. state of New Mexico. As of June 24th, 899,000 acres had burned across the state, including 31 fires greater than 100 acres. The acres burned figure for 2022 is far above the 1995 to 2015 average of approximately 270,000 acres burned annually. Yeah, compare that. Almost 900,000 compared to 270,000. 900 versus 270. Yeah, that's pretty far above the average. With the fire season in the state expected to continue until the advent of the regular North American monsoon weather pattern throughout the southwestern U.S. in the summer. A number of factors have contributed to the severe wildfire season. The majority of the state is experiencing extreme to exceptional drought conditions. Yep. I mean, look at this here. Let's see if we can... let's look at a few other... No, I don't want to look at that. Let's do the comparison slider. So on the left, let's see what it looked like on July 19th. Let's go to May 24th. Yeah, May 24th of this year, New Mexico was pretty much entirely in the red right there. And Utah has not looked good pretty much like at all at any point this year. It's just Utah is just solidly red. That red just does not leave the state. Let's go back to March. It's looking better in March. Let's look at February. And of course, it's not going to be as bad during the winter, but let's go back to October of 2021. Not looking good. September 2021. Yep, terrible. I'm talking about Utah. So yeah, we have a problem out west right now and in the southwest. So all right, going back to this. So the drought has contributed to this. Climate change. Okay. The season has seen a large number of significant wildfires. In early April 2022, the McBride fire destroyed over 200 structures and killed 2 people. Since April 2022, the Calf Canyon / Hermit Peaks fire grew to become the largest fire in New Mexico history. It destroyed 900 structures. And again, I ask for the people that had their homes destroyed, their businesses, whatever it was, that's probably a very second coming into the world kind of experience. The judgments of the Lord coming upon the world. It doesn't have to be everyone all over the world all at once. It can be done sporadically like this and just in increasing frequency. Thousands of state residents have been forced to evacuate for extended periods of times, and fires have produced smoke plumes with severe effects on air quality and health throughout New Mexico. So, yeah, so that's what's going on. All right, so thank you, Jonathan Hayes, for sharing this with me. I'll add it to my playlist for flooding. Make sure to check that out. I think it's pretty clear that the Earth is preparing itself. You can go with whatever theory you want. You can say that it's our fault. For all who knows, maybe it is. Maybe it's because of wickedness, and so whatever. I tend to take more the approach that it's because the Earth is simply preparing to level up to become a terrestrial world, a paradisiacal world. Anyway, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I think that this might actually be part of the plan. And if that is the case, then it's kind of insidious for those at the top to insinuate that we're the ones that are responsible for this, when in reality that may not be the case. But the world is getting hotter. It's getting hotter and hotter. Things are becoming more and more frequent. Again, it looks like maybe we've had a little bit of a break this year as far as wildfires in the United States go. And I haven't really heard of too many in other places, although there was a pretty... no, let's see. I think in Europe there have been, because I did a video on that. Sorry, I just need to check this out really quick. Let's go to my channel, because I remember that in Spain there was this crazy wildfires that were going on in Spain. Wildfire. Yeah, right here. London's on fire. Europe's on fire. The world's on fire. Is this the burning of the second coming? I did this a month ago. It showed, like, one of these stories had a picture or had a video of a guy that was literally engulfed. He was like a worker that was trying to like dig a trench or something so that the fire wouldn't spread, but he became engulfed in flames, and he had to jump off of the construction equipment, and he was in the fire. He was running for his life to get away from this fire, and his clothes burned. They almost completely burned off his body completely. It was one of the most horrific things I've ever seen. Oh man, I have so many links for this one. Let me open this one up. Heat wave kills more than 2,000 people in Spain and Portugal. That's this year. Okay, what else was there? Spanish man filmed escaping wildfire, treated for serious burns. If you haven't seen this video, look, there he is right there. He is okay, and I forgot to say this. He is running away as he's actually on fire. You see this little bright spot right here? That's him. His clothes is on fire as he's running away from this fire. There was another one. Oh yeah, wildfire surrounds train full of passengers. And I think this was in Spain as well.
What's he doing?
Look at this. How would you feel being on a train? You're just trying to like go somewhere, go to work, go on vacation. I don't know. You're commuting somewhere, and yeah, your train is surrounded by fire. That's kind of a unbelievable scene to me. Excuse me. So you get the idea. So maybe in the U.S. we've been kind of spared as far as the wildfires have gone, except for New Mexico. But there's still been some pretty crazy fires in the world this year. This one's Italy, in Tuscany. Italy fights wildfires from Tuscany to Trieste, July 20th. Yeah. Yeah, so there you have it. Okay, well, that's going to be it for this one. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, like this video if you liked it, leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Please join the members only if you're wanting more content that aside from what I normally do on the main channel. I dive a little bit deeper into secret combinations and then toxic personalities and stuff like that. Share this video with anyone that might find it interesting, and I'll talk to you guys later.